Danessa Myricks makeup products have definitely taken the African American population by storm. These products do not miss, and they do an amazing job of matching our skin tone almost so effortlessly that you can't even tell we have on makeup. I like to start with this Water Powder Serum of a primer because it does an amazing job of controlling the oil on your skin. So if you're an oily skin girly, you need to start with this as a primer. It's not sticky, it's not super heavy, and it does an amazing job of serving as the base for any foundation that I've ever tried. So if you're looking for products that you can pair with other brands, this definitely is one of those. Now I go in after that with the blurring balm, and this is in the shade 8.5. I sometimes mix it with 9 depending on how close to my summer or winter shade I am, but I love the coverage that we get from this without ever having to actually use an actual foundation. And sometimes I do use the tinted serum in order to give it an additional base, but on this day I decided against it because I felt like this was enough by itself. I'm grateful for products like this one that are buildable, that can be used in conjunction with other products, but also that stand alone and do just enough. I'm starting to enter my little makeup is enough era. I'm all right with some of my blemishes coming forward. And I also appreciate the fact that once you start to take the additional steps in your makeup process, whether that's concealer, contour, and everything else, you have the ability to truly make the look whatever you choose. This is where I go in with 9. And as you see, 9 becomes the perfect combination of 8.5 and 9 that gives the same skin that you see on my chest. Also, adding 2 different shades, in my opinion, levels up the coverage just a little bit more. Now, doesn't that give skin? Danessa girl, I continue to tell you that you apparently figured out how to configure my skin in a bottle and package it up for me. Because if my makeup don't look like this every time, I literally want to wash it off and do it over. I just like how seamless, even, and flat at the same time this looks. I don't always want the foundation to be so heavy and thick. I like how skin like this looks. This looks believable. And let's also talk about the radiance. Let's not talk about how my light just cut off in the middle of this and then I had to plug it up in order for it to work again because I never charge my light. And that's on me, and I understand that. The final step, this setting spray, it is mattifying, but I actually like that it's a liquid that turns into a powder. Now, a lot of the girlies are very afraid to use this because it does leave those little white dots across your face. One of the things that I saw Danessa Myricks give us direction on is the fact that after you spray, you're actually supposed to spray it much further away from your face than that. You'll notice that you do have a little bit of whiteness that shows up. Go in with a powder and press it because this is a liquid to powder solution. And so this particular formula requires that you pat it in, and you need to do it lightly. And I actually do it when there's a little bit of like foundation and contour and everything else already mixed in there. I'm not pressing it deeply to where I'm actually messing up what's there, but I do a great job of just pressing it in lightly. And what this does, it actually helps to mattify all of the parts that start to look oily at first when you spray this. And the instructions require that you would definitely pat it in every place that you've ever sprayed it. I like to use these little powder puffs because they do a great job of controlling how much pressure I'm putting on without being too heavy-handed. And yes, you do need to take your time with this process so that you don't drag or move any of the products from wherever it is. It isn't about moving the product, it's about making sure that the product stays put wherever you intend to have it. And then after that, I like to fan it or use my fan in order to make sure that it dries down appropriately. Now, in the areas that you see a little bit of glistening, I do go back in and pat those areas from time to time, and I like to do a lot of glaring at myself. But are you telling me that Danessa Myricks didn't eat this face up? And then after I decided to put some lipstick on, do you see what we have here? Do you see the material? Yes, Danessa, you did your big one with this one, and honestly, I couldn't be more satisfied with how amazing this looks. Don't worry about me running my mouth. Admire the beat on this good face here. And even then, I can go back in and pat a little bit more. Danessa, girl, you ate that.